All right, so let's imagine that we have a processor that is like a catalytic converter, except in X, Y, and Z directions. So it can induce pressures using gravitational truing through orbital pathing and directional light energy. And light is brought into the system, energy is brought into the system, and it redirects it. And so it has a directing quality to it. And so this has a certain amount of redirectional capacitance. And so this system will go ahead and scroll wheel towards capable of supercooling an energy state down to this, spiraling characteristic of gravitational density increase to where it stays captured and retained in a spherical subset. That is the BEC classic that we got used to. And a lot of the BEC classic that we got used to is they take a lot of material and they let a lot of it vaporize away and they retain this chunk. But what's interesting about a rotational ensemble in electromagnetism is you can rotate it at the right velocity to couple phase intercepts of such insignificant delta V that it stays phase locked and it will stay in that fluidic system of zero viscosity, in essence, on average more in that uniform strata than get influenced by the traces that's dissipating away. So it's a characteristic of those ratios. So an ABEC fluid system is where you have radio understanding of that surface tension, and how you can then start trusting vapor to move in certain directions, because you know that when a surface is trying to be released from BEC because of resistances, accumulations, and reactions, that slightest pressure out ends up creating a equal and opposite effect on the other side of the BEC fluid. It's a mirrored array. And so by going ahead and correcting for that using transmissions of energy, the tick of assembly can do a variety of things with this fluid set, such that you can characteristically start formulating it into other shapes. And by keeping that process in calibration of expectations, then even the molecules that have vaporized off of that surface could still be considered a part of the system, with the bouncing effect of stasis qualities within the processor being that slight redirect that got this all into a high density area. That's the holographic projection of the slightest change in direction, and that induces the system to be able to pressure change that directional energy just enough to keep space-time folds in effect, where it retains the fluidic system in its own micro Cooper pair set, and with the surface tension effects.